everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Rebecca, and in today's video it is about how to prepare and survive deployment. So the number one question I get asked by people on Instagram and on my comments on YouTube are people saying, my husband is about to leave for his first deployment. What do I do? Like, how do I survive this? How do I get through it? And I wanted to make a whole video about it so that you guys can watch it, because every answer I give, everybody's pretty much the same. So if I put it in a video, then here it is and I don't have to type it out every time. Obviously this video is for spouses. I'm not telling soldiers how to prepare and survive deployment. Like, it's about how to prepare and survive for your spouse's deployment. And so yeah, this is in the perspective of a spouse to other spouses. So my husband just got back like last month from a 9-month deployment to Afghanistan, and I did a deployment series while he was gone, but I didn't address this because I didn't know what it would be like the full time that he was gone, and I wanted to make this video once he was already back. So he's only been on one deployment while we've been married, and this is my advice for people. I know that wives that have been through more than one deployment might have better advice, but that's all I've been through, so this is what I can offer to you. The number one thing that I want you to know when preparing for deployment is just spend as much time as you can with your spouse. I know that they're busy, I know that they're packing all the time, but just spend as much time as you can with them. Take pictures, take videos, even if they're like silly, and you will treasure those while they're gone. If it's a couple months out from deployment, try to maybe plan, if you have leave before deployment, which most people do, plan a vacation for you guys, or just a little getaway, a weekend getaway if you can, to spend together. Of course you might want to go home and see family, but I think that spending time together as well, just the two of you and your kids if you have kids, is important before they leave, because when they leave it's hard. It's hard. That's what I'm gonna say. So the number one thing to know when they leave for deployment, everyone says, I don't know how I'm gonna survive this, and I was the exact same way. I was like, I cannot imagine not seeing my husband for 9 months. Like, it was awful, but it's hard. It's hard at first, but then it gets better. So the day that they leave is the worst in my opinion. Dropping them off and then leaving is absolutely the worst thing, and then once you get that out of the way, everything is kind of downhill from there in my opinion. The first probably month, 1 to 3 weeks, are really hard because you're just kind of in this rut where you're like feeling like they're at training maybe and that they'll be home, but then after that you're like, oh okay, like they're gone, they're not gonna be home for a while. So my advice to you once they leave is to visit family if you can. If you can't visit family, then find something that's going to keep you busy every single day. So if that, for me, that was taking my dog to the dog park every day, taking him for a walk every day. I did YouTube. Some people get a job because the schedule, it's just going to make time go by faster, and having something that consistently gets you out of the house is like super important. So I think that organic friendships are a lot easier to find when you're doing something that you enjoy. So maybe if you can find someone that's husband is also deployed with yours, and then you have that similarity with them and you can connect on the same level, and you can hang out with them. Maybe like for me, when I went to the dog park, I just organically met dog park friends who were like obsessed with dogs like me, and that's my community. And then it was something I did every day. They were always there, and it wasn't something I had to like, oh, I made plans. Like, no, it was something I wanted to do and they were there, and then I had someone to talk to. Another thing that you can do is work out or something like that, and that for me is a really good thing because you're bettering yourself while your spouse is gone, and you're gonna feel good about that, and you're gonna feel good telling your spouse like, hey, I went to the gym today, like, and telling them about all your improvements that you're making. And it's almost like your life goes on even without them, and as harsh as that sounds, it's actually something that you want. Like, you crave that because you're like, oh, they're over there like with people doing things and I'm just here kind of like in limbo. So if you set a goal and then you're able to accomplish it, like, you go, girl. Like, seriously, that was something that like drove me to get out of the house every day and distracted me, and it was awesome. I'm not gonna lie and say that it's always easy, because it's not always easy, and a lot of the times it's hard and you're gonna have rough nights, but I think that not isolating yourself is super important. Like, reach out if you can to people. If you can visit home when you're feeling like just like, I can't do this alone anymore, like, that's also something that you can do. I also want to say that when you're thinking about the time that they're deployed, like, it is really hard to look at a deployment and think like, wow, this is 9 months long, they're not going to be home till this time. But if you like think about it in that long length of time all in one chunk, it makes it really hard. But if you like kind of split that up in your mind, like, oh, I have to do 3 months 3 times, like, and then once 3 months is done, you're like, wow, I'm already a third done. I know that sounds silly, but that helped me. That just might be because my brain works funny, I don't know. So there are tons of people that you can follow on YouTube and on Instagram that are military wives, and I feel like it helps having like that sense of community and like, oh, I'm not alone, like, other people do go through this and like they survive it, so I can survive it. So definitely, if you can find other people on Instagram, on YouTube to watch, like, do that. It helped me a lot because for I could reach out to some people like Victoria Fox and Chloe's Life, I don't know her last name right now, but they were like really awesome because they answer every message. So I do want to put out there that if you have any questions, if you want to talk about anything military related or other, I reply to every single message that I get on Instagram. So if you want to message me, go ahead. Also, those 2 people that I messaged, they're really good about getting back to people, and I will link their YouTube and their Instagram in my description. So I know this is kind of like a cookie cutter thing to say, like, oh, keep busy, but like, really, truly, and honestly, that is the #1 thing that you can do to survive a deployment. Keep busy, keep on top of things, don't get overwhelmed with things. Like, just do your best and you can get through it. And if you ever need someone to talk to, feel free to message me. So I hope this video helps, and if you are currently going through a deployment, know that it gets better, that he will come home or she will come home and life will be back to normal, and that you are strong enough and you can do it. So if you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I film military things, lifestyle things, workouts. I do all kinds of stuff, basically just about my life. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!